Hello, welcome back to each of you who have listened before, and welcome to all our new listeners. We're very grateful that you take time to listen to the Dhamma and trust that any Dhamma you listen to will inspire you to deepen your practice of investigating your own mind. Today is the third in three topics that I have been talking about. Today's topic is called delusion or ignorance. Pali word is moha. So let's get into it. Delusion obviously means to not see things as they are, perhaps seeing them as we would like them to be or wish for them to be. And ignorance is not that we're not educated, that we don't know how to read or write, we've never been schooled, we don't have degrees or diplomas, etc. We don't have skills in the world. We're just ignorant of the way things are. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means we're ignorant of Dhamma. We're ignorant of what is actually true. So in today's jargon, we can say the world and the values of the world and the things that we are told to appreciate and to acquire are fake news, and the Dhamma is the real news. It's an alternative to the life that we have of incessant craving and not liking, disliking, even hating. And it's the alternative to a life that just never is satisfied. We're just incapable, unable to scratch the itch that is bothering us until we discover that in fact there is a way to become tranquil and equanimous and peaceful and filled with loving kindness, and that is to purify the mind, to get rid of those characteristics, those habit patterns that are keeping us in the dark. These old, normal, human nature characteristics is what leads us astray. It leads us away from the path of Dhamma. We need to learn to question these values that have been instilled in us just subconsciously, even unintentionally. The world advertises to us, and we don't know how to question the values it is trying to implant in us. So this ignorance or delusion is the very first step in the steps of dependent origination. It's the foundation stone. It's the place where it all begins. And then when this all begins means this life that we call me and mine. So vidya, it's called avidya. It's blind unknowing. It doesn't see. It's a kind of false knowing. It's ignorance. It's using thinking and analyzing to form a sense of what I like and the sense of me. It's a creator. It's the creator, creator king, or creator God of the three realms of existence in Buddha, which is the hell realms, including animal realms, the human realm, and the heavenly realms. So this avidya creates the universe, if we want to think of it that way. It's not knowing the truth. That's the important point I'd like to make. It's not something. It's the absence of something. It's the absence of knowing. It's thinking that we know, imagining that we know, believing that we know when we don't. Make it as simple as I can. All problems, all forms of suffering, including happiness, are the result of the delusion that is called avidya. It's the absence of knowing what the truth is. Remember that darkness is not a thing. It's the absence of something that we call light. Scientists cannot perform experiments on darkness, but they can on the opposite of ignorance. The opposite is light in this case. What is the technique, or what is the method, or what do we need to know that we don't know now in order to turn on the light? And that is 6, 7, and 8 of the Eightfold Path. We must know how to make an effort to turn on the light. And that effort takes the form of concentration. We must learn to have mindfulness. It's just one form of concentration, and the ability to slow the mind down, quiet the mind down, so that it can focus on a topic that we choose for it to focus on, a topic of Dhamma that allows us to investigate the mind. The mind investigates itself, but only if it can be calmed, if it can be focused, so that it has the strength and the power to penetrate through the darkness to that place that we call the truth. And when we do that, it results in wisdom. So effort and concentration and wisdom are all interrelated. Sati, and that is mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom are interrelated, and they're inseparable. We can talk about them as 1, 2, and 3 legs to a stool. You take one out, the stool doesn't work, but in fact they're all just one form that effort takes, and we talk about it as in 3 different ways. So wisdom obviously is the antidote to ignorance. It's our salvation from suffering, and it's available to us provided we practice in the way that Lord Buddha teaches. I'm going to conclude this very brief talk by quoting something that's said to be Lord Buddha's enlightenment declaration. He said, "Repeated births are each a torment, seeking but not finding the house builder. I wandered through many, many rebirths." Then he says, "Oh, house builder." Well, who is the house builder? Avidya is the house builder. Ignorance is the house builder. He says, "O house builder, thou art seen. Thou wilt not rebuild the house. All the rafters have been shattered." That means all the ignorant beliefs we've had, all the opinions that we've had, all the wrong views that we've had, those are shattered. He says, "Demolished has thy ridgepole been." Well, a ridgepole was a form of architecture in the ancient times and even in the present moment. And that means self. The belief in self has been destroyed. He says, "My mind has won the unconditioned. The extinction of craving is achieved." So all of our suffering is the result of ignorance, whether it's craving or aversion. It's the result of a misunderstanding. It's a deception that we have been hypnotized by and continues to cause us to suffer, but the good news is practicing the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, the Satipatthana Sutta, we are guaranteed to be liberated from all forms of suffering and the cycle of rebirth. Thank you. Thank you all for reaching the end of this talk. Please reach out to us if you have questions or suggestions for topics you'd like us to discuss. Thank you again.